Hello, how's it going on everybody? Welcome back to another tutorial. Today we're going to talk about how to fix stuttering issues and frame drops issues in Rainbow Six Siege. So let's get into it. Alright, the first step we're gonna do is just go and jump into our NVIDIA control panel. Come to first page, it's called adjust image setting and preview, and make sure that the middle option is selected. Use the advanced 3D image setting and then go for manage 3D setting. Alright, I'm gonna show you my global setting, and also you have to pause the video. Each part, I mean like 3 parts of this control panel, and then just copy all these settings I'm doing right now that I'm saying into your NVIDIA control panel. But if you're on AMD, you will see the settings on the right side of the screen. This is the best setting for AMD right now. Just pause the video and copy all these settings into your AMD Radeon control panel. Alright, let's go. For NVIDIA, come here. For me, because I didn't update my driver yet, so maybe some of you guys, instead of image sharpening, you have image scaling. Don't worry about it. It's not that, it's not that good thing to use. Actually, if you are not on mid-range hardware to high-end hardware, if you're on high-end system, so you can go and enable it. What does it do? It just, for example, you want to play your game at the highest resolution possible, but you can't afford that frame rate for it. For example, you want to play that game on 1080p, and also you can't achieve that frame rate that you want. So what you're gonna do is just come here and enable NVIDIA image scaling, or NIS, and what does it do? It just upscale your resolution to the resolution you desire, but the frame rate, the resolution you played before. So it means that you see game on 1080p, but you play on 720p, but with the 1080p quality. So that's what it does. Alright, that's a good option actually to use. Ambient occlusion, just press off. Just put off, because if you enable it globally, maybe some games have disadvantage of this option. So you have to find out if your game worked with it or not. Anti-scopic filtering, just put in 16x. Even if your game is competitive shooter game, it really matters because it removes jagginess from side of the screens, and also it helps you to maintain the best quality at the same time at the best performance possible. So use 16x. Anti-aliasing FXAA. FXAA is one of the best choice for the people who wants to use FXAA or TAA or like something like that. But FXAA is more stable than TAA and any other AA thing that out there. So what I'm gonna give you a tip is, if you are on low-end hardware, do not go for FXAA. But if you are like mid-range to up, then you can go and enable it. What does it do? It just remove the things that remove the issue from loading textures in some areas, in some objects, and making them look like blurry, to make it look like more cinematic or something like that. So you can use it, or you just have to disable it. You have to try it yourself to see if it's good for you or not. But it does actually lower your performance a little bit. Anti-aliasing mode, set application control, because every application has their own thing about anti-aliasing mode. Anti-aliasing transparency off. We're not gonna use that. It's a garbage thing. Background application max frame rate. It's an important option because, for example, you want to chat inside your Discord at the same time you're playing the game. Okay, so if you alt tab multiple times, your game maybe will crash because your game is rendering at the max frame rate as possible at the same time, even in the background, even if you play on full screen. So what does it do? It just minimizes your frame rate to 30 when you alt tab from the game window to the outside window. So it's actually a good thing. It's actually a good feature to decrease the temperature of your system actually. Put a GPU if you're using one GPU at the same time, so then enable just one GPU. But if you have 2 GPUs, select one which is the most powerful GPU that you have. Low latency mode, or default or global setting, I put it on off because I don't want to use this setting in all of my games. But for example, for Rainbow Six Siege, if you enable this one, this will reduce the latency of your monitor and your input devices to make sure that you maintain the best frame rate and also best latency as possible. It actually helps a lot in competitive games like Rainbow Six Siege or Counter-Strike. Max frame rate, just put it on off. OpenGL rendering GPU. This is render GPU that you have right now. This is the thing that should render the objects of the game. So you have to select the best GPU possible that you have on your system. Optimize for compute performance, just put it on off. Power management mode. Do not go for high performance or prefer maximum performance because that's not a good option in the new updates. So go for optimal performance because your graphic card can manage it itself. Shader cache size. If you increase the shader cache size, it will decrease the load time of the game and actually the load time of objects inside a game. So it actually helps a lot in some games like open world games or some MOBA or some games like that, or MMORPGs especially. So the standard number I go is 1 GB, and at the max I go with 5 GB, not more than 5 GB. Only 1 GB is enough for me. Alright, texture filtering, anti-scopic sample optimization, press on. Negative LOD bias, select allow. Quality, select performance, not high performance and not high quality. If you want to get the best quality as possible, then go for quality. If you want to get best frame rate as possible, go for performance, not high performance. Pre-liner optimization, select on. 3D optimization, you have to select this on auto because some CPUs have advantage of this and some CPUs have disadvantage of this. And also some games use this thing and some games don't. So it's a good thing about the games that is more CPU intensive, like Rainbow Six Siege, like any other open world game, or like any other shooter competitive game that are CPU intensive. So it's actually a good feature that helps your CPU maintain the best frame rate in all the situations. Triple buffering and vertical sync are a thing that have to sync with each other. What does it mean? It means that if you're using VSync, you have to enable triple buffering. If you don't use VSync, then turn it off. It's actually not a thing without VSync. So it's gonna help a VSync to remove tearing on your screen. Okay, what should we put for VSync? In some games I'm using on, but in some games I'm using fast. If you're using fast, it will have maybe a little bit more usage on your GPU, but actually what does it do? It removes the latency of the VSync on mode. So just put on fast, it's better. But if you are low on GPU memory on the game, don't go for fast, go for on. You have to test it yourself. And also don't forget to limit your frame rate inside the game, because if you don't limit your frame rate, when you go for fast, your frame rate will jump maybe 100%, 100 FPS or 200 FPS, and it's not good. But just make sure to limit your FPS inside game. Virtual reality pre-rendered frame, just put 1 for competitive games. But for non-competitive games, you can just put 2 or 3, whatever you want. That's done. Click on apply, okay. And then go for set physics of configuration. In here, select your graphic card if you have a really good graphic card. But if you have better CPU, then go for CPU. What I mean by better CPU, I mean like the CPU that have many threads. Many threads is like 12 threads, 8 threads, or maybe 16 threads. So if you have that much threads on your CPU, then go for CPU. But if you don't, then go for GPU. And it's done. Click on apply, okay, and then close this window. Alright, next thing is the actual in-game setting. The settings that you see on the left side of the screen is the best setting for Rainbow Six Siege right now in the latest patch by 2022. So just pause the video, copy all this setting, put it inside your game. And then when you're done copying the setting, come to documents, come to my games. Where was it actually? Alright, come to your documents, come into my games, Rainbow Six Siege. Go to the folder that is viewed right now. There is a file called game settings.ini. Double click on it and it will open with Notepad. For example, for me, I'm using Notepad++ because it has better visual quality, and it's better to find more options, find and see options. Yeah, okay. All right, let's see what we have here for resolution. Because I'm a low-end top, I'm using 124/768. Refresh rate is my refresh rate of my monitor. Aspect ratio, I'm using 5. VSync 1, max GPU buffer frame 1, and default FOV I'm using 71, AMD multi-draw GPU 1, AMG AGS 1, and also come down here, it's called adaptive render scaling target FPS. I put 60 because I want my system to render 60 frames per second at the same time, even in the fights. So it's actually a good thing, you know, to put the frame that you desire. Then come down here, it's called raw input, mouse and keyboard. Just put 0, because if you enable raw, it will increase your CPU usage by a lot. And that's done for Rainbow Six Siege control panel. And also, if you want to find your FPS limiter inside Rainbow Six Siege, it is right here, FPS limit. And you can put every number that you want, every number you desire. Alright, that's done. Next thing we're gonna do is just jump into directory of Rainbow Six Siege. Then we are going down here where the Rainbow Six Siege launcher is. Alright, we have 3 launchers here. Rainbow Six Siege.exe, Rainbow Six Siege _Vulkan.exe, and Rainbow Six Siege _BE.exe. BE means battle eye, so we're not gonna do anything in here. But for both of these two, you're gonna right click on them, go to properties, go to compatibility, select disable full screen optimization, run this program as administrator, change the high DPI, and enable high DPI scaling behavior, select system enhanced. Click on OK, then come for Vulkan, do the same for Vulkan. Compatibility, disable full screen, run the program as an administrator, and enable system enhance. That's done. Also, if you want to get more frame rate of your PC, then don't forget to check out the other guide you see on the right corner of your screen. It is the ultimate guide of optimizing Windows 10 and Windows 11, the latest version, and also show you how to update your drivers correctly. So feel free to check out. That's it for today's tutorial. I hope you like this type of video. Let me know in the comments below if I mistake about something or if I didn't put something in here. I will read all of your comments. I will answer all of your comments. So yeah, feel free to ask anything you like. I will see you in the next one. Peace.